Hello, and welcome to the 21 Pilots album review, where I review most of their albums. It's just gonna be like a little quick video that I'm gonna make before Clancy comes out, which is their new album. And I'm hoping that I can put this video out before then. I'm gonna spend all day tomorrow just editing and stuff like that. But anyways, so for each album, I'm gonna give my opinions, my thoughts on it basically, and then I'm gonna give my three standout tracks for each album, which will be kind of hard for some of them because some of them have really good tracks on them, and then others it'll be like pretty snappy, like Blurry Face. I can just easily list the top three off my head. Anyways, I'll spend about a minute or two on each album. And, yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, first album is Vessel. And, yeah, I really like Vessel. It's probably my favorite album. Again, this is coming out before Clancy, so I really have no idea if Clancy's gonna beat it. Might. But yeah, Vessel is my favorite album. It's got, like, a really unique sound to it, and I really associate it with the band 21 Pilots, if that makes sense, right? Like, it sounds like it sounds like them, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's one or two albums that I think about when I think 21 Pilots. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's also the first, technically, of the Dema saga. It's not super lore heavy, unlike the next two albums. Or it's not as lore heavy as the album after the next album. But it does still have the lore in it, which I know jack shit about. But yeah, anyways. Really good album. I really like it. Again, probably my favorite. And my standouts, well, that's a hard thing to do. I want to say Ode to Sleep, House of Gold, and Trees. Although I do really like Semi-Automatic. And Truce is also really good. So is Car Radio. And yeah. Alright, next up is Blurry Face. This one I definitely have the least to say about, because it's probably, no, it is definitely my least favorite. It's just kind of too, it doesn't really sound like them, if that makes any sense, right? Like, it's just kind of a bland-ish album, although there are good tracks on it. A good portion of the tracks on the album, in my opinion, are very forgettable. Like what? Ride, that's very forgettable. What else? Fairly Local. Tearing My Heart's not too bad. Anyways, yeah, again, it's kind of like mainstream sounding, in my opinion, kind of basic. Like, if you listen to Stressed Out, it sounds nothing like anything else they made. I mean, it's not a bad song, it's just not their greatest, not even close to their greatest. Their greatest definitely comes on their second album, or their next album, I should say. Most of their great songs come from their next album. Anyways, standouts, The Judge, oh god, The Judge, We Don't Believe It's on TV, and Not Today. There are my standouts. Anyways, that's Blurry Face. Next album is Trench. And, when my friends said there's the greatest thing ever, I thought they were, like, joking and saying, like, I thought, like, it wasn't gonna be as good as they said. But, like, as soon as you hear that first fucking track, holy shit, it's kind of like falling into a rabbit hole for the first time, but not one you absolutely fucking regret, if that makes any sense, right? Like, my god, There's so many good tracks, and it's so like unique sounding. It's so original, right? It's so like unfamiliar sounding, right? Like, which is kind of the point of the album, right? Because the album is called Trench, and in the lore, there's this place called Trench, and in Trench, like, characters are in Trench, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's why it's kind of unfamiliar sounding. Like, there's tracks like the first 3 tracks: Jumpsuit, Levitate, Morph, and then fucking, what is it? Smithereens, Chlorine, fucking, oh god. Hang on, I need to pull up a list here. I forgot, like, all of them. I listed all of them in my head, and then I fucking forgot. I have to redo this section. Jumpsuit, Levitate, Morph, Chlorine, Smithereens, The Hype, Nico and the Niners, Bandito, Pet Cheetah, and Legend, and Leave the City. Holy shit. All those tracks are, like, some of the greatest tracks you'll ever hear on one album. Like, this album is just like, it's mind-blowing how fucking crazy and like unique this album is, I guess you could say. It is definitely the greatest thing ever. Well, not ever. It is definitely the greatest, one of the greatest things ever. And it's kind of hard to list my standouts because there's so many good fucking tracks. God. Oh, God. It's so hard to pick. God damn it. Here we go. Pet Cheetah, Jumpsuit, and why not Nico and the Niners there. Those are my standouts. There's other songs that I could have put on there, but God, there's just so many good tracks. Anyways, on to their next album. Next album is CLANCY, which is probably their least popular album of the Dema Saga, if that makes sense. It's not their least popular album. That would probably be regional at best, because you can't fucking find it anywhere. But yeah, CLANCY is definitely their least popular album of the saga. And I mean, I kind of see why. It's kind of generic sounding, but I mean, that is kind of the point, is to sound generic. I mean, a lot of the tracks are very safe, kind of artificial sounding. However, I do like a good portion of the tracks, right? You know, Shy Away, The Outside, Saturday, Mulberry Street, Bounce Man, and Redecorate. Those are probably like the best tracks in my opinion. And yeah, it's like I said, it's very safe, artificial, generic sounding. But they didn't do that because they got lazy. They did that because of the lore. They wanted to expand on the lore. Which makes sense, because, of course, some things have to be for the lore, other things have to be for the other stuff. Anyways, so, stay notes, I'd say, are, again, these are in no particular order, I should have said that. Stay notes are Saturday, Mulberry Street, and either Redecorate or Bounce Man. I think I'm gonna do Bounce Man. Yeah, those are my standouts, definitely. So, Saturday, Mulberry Street, and Bounce Man, those are my 3 standouts. That's probably not what other people would have said, but, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it.